Hello friends, it's Mike here, Guitar Tricks, back with another video in my CAGED system series. And in this video, we're going to look at the C shape position, the first letter in the CAGED acronym. And to do this, I'm going to actually do it in the key of D. So in order to get there, what I'm going to do is start off by grabbing an open C shape without the index finger, so using the pinky, ring, and middle finger. A little bit of a tough grab, but slide it up 2 frets and then add your index finger at the 2nd fret to bar down. And we end up with a D major chord based out of the C, the open C shape. Now, how do we use this? Well, the first thing to realize is that now you can visualize the chord shape in this position. You can play any chunk of it. Okay. You can also think about the chord arpeggio in this particular position, which adds a few chord tone notes to it. So you would add the A note on the 5th fret of the low string, and then the 5th fret on the high string. Okay. And that gives you a great way to practice your chord arpeggio in this position. Also, we need to know the scale pattern in this position. So for D major, starting on the D note, you've got your scale right there. Okay, so really try to lock in and visualize that scale pattern with the chord shape. And beyond that, the arpeggio shape. Because that way what you can do is improvise in that position using the scale and know where the chord tones are to be able to resolve your phrases if you're playing over that particular chord, right? We could be in the key of D, playing over top of a D chord, and now you can visualize that D chord shape to be able to resolve any kind of embellishments that you're doing. Okay? You can improvise with that scale right there. Okay? One note here is, in order to fully know all of the notes available to you in that particular position, it's really good to go beyond just root to root. So for example, I'm not going to stop learning the scale right there. I'm going to continue on in that position, staying in the position, but grabbing the extra notes on the top of it, because a lot of times we want to be able to use those notes, any note available to us in the scale in that position. So learn it on either side of root to root. Learn all 6 strings. Any note that's in the scale in that position is useful to know. All right, so also we can think about the 4 and 5 chord in the key of D and figure out what those chord shapes look like. All right, so our 4 chord in the key of D is G, and that's the root notes located here, 5th fret of the D string. But to stay in this position, we grab the lower one, which is the 3rd fret of the low string, and that's going to give us our root 6 bar chord shape, which is based out of the open E shape. So there's our 4 chord in that position. And then the 5 chord is going to be A, and that root note is the 5th fret of the low string, and that is based off our open G shape. And once again, it's a little bit of a weird chord to grab the whole thing, but certainly parts of it are very useful to know, and the arpeggio, of course, to be able to land on those notes if you're playing in the key of D, but you have to happen to be playing over the A chord underneath, to be able to just know where that chord shape lands, to be able to resolve your playing over those notes. Very useful. One more note here is that you can easily use the same system for minor chords. So if we are playing in D minor in this position, there's not really a chord shape that's an easy grab across all 6 strings, but you're basically just moving what would be the 4th fret of the D string down 1 fret to the F note 3rd fret of the D string. You've got a corresponding minor chord shape here. Okay? And it's the same idea, so you can use the CAGED system for minor chords as well. Hope this was helpful. We'll take a look at the A chord shape next. Stick with it, and we'll see you on the next one.